Good morning, my neighbors!
Ladies and gents, it's Monday. Half term is over. It's greyer than the singular chest hair that I found on my chest yesterday afternoon. I'm sure I'm not getting old. I can't be getting old. It seems early for this. Anyway, it's time for an alternative paper review. First up to the hate rags this morning. Let's get them out the way first. The Daily Mail are going for a Mauling the Minorities Monday. You know, I like to imagine that in the Mail's editorial office, they have a sort of agile development board, you know, where instead of having to do, in progress, done, like you would do in software engineering, they just have the days of the week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then under Monday, it's like transphobia. Tuesday is asylum seekers. Wednesday, single mothers. Thursday, private school. Friday, low taxes. You get the idea. Anyway, Monday is transphobia. Clearly, sex is a fact of biology, they say. Now, just quickly, because we have talked about this before, you know, and I get tired of repeating the same things again and again, but nobody's saying that sex isn't a biological fact. You know, when you fill out some of these equality forms, it will say, right, or tick the box of the gender that you were assigned at birth, right? Everybody just accepts that there is a gender or a sex that they were assigned at birth. Where the debate is, if you want to call it a debate, although that seems quite cruel and callous, is if I decide that I no longer want to live as a man, I want to be a woman, I want to be perceived as a woman and treated like I am a woman, then I would like society to respect that decision of me self-identifying, and I think I should have a right to healthcare that supports me in that decision. But that would make a really long, nuanced and complex headline, wouldn't it? So the Mail instead put this one out, which bleeds absolutely into that "what is a woman" rhetoric. Which is when we, you know, I'm sure you would have noticed, we breached the perimeter of idiotainment. And you get all the vox pops of people, or like phone-ins on talk radio go, oh, they can't even say what a woman is. How can they be expected to run the country if they can't say what a woman is? Anyway, the Times cover it too. Tory vow to end abuse of gender laws. The Telegraph say Sunak, I'll change law to protect women's spaces. Which is fine, you know, admirable, I suppose. Protecting women, I'm all for that. But it would probably mean a little bit more if it wasn't coming from the party that habitually protected its own sexual abusers and sexual predators within the confines of CCHQ and the Whip's office, and who manifestly, industrially shut all of the domestic violence shelters. Also, the more intellectually hungry among you may be wondering, what is actually the substance of all this? Well, the Mail are reporting that Sunak is looking to exclude trans women from places like rape crisis centres. But doesn't that sort of leave the question, where are trans women supposed to go when they are inevitably attacked? Because it's estimated that about 5% of sex workers are trans, and they stand a much, much higher risk of being physically attacked. But the tabloid right in this country exhibits such a weird, inverted sociopathy, don't they? It's one that pretends to showcase care and concern for a particular demographic or a particular institution, but actually inverted, like on the other side, is just cold-hearted callousness. You know, like, oh, it's your public services we care about. We care deeply about your public services. That's why we're slumping more immigrants on the bonfire over there. Oh, it's women we care about. Oh, we love women and we care for them so deeply. That's why we're attacking and ruthlessly mauling and exploiting the trans community. Because what are we saying here, Rishi Sunak and Daily Mail? Really, by deliberately excluding trans women from care outlets that they are statistically more likely to need, what are we saying to wider society? We are saying, hey, you're a biological woman and you were recently physically attacked, were you? Oh, God, that sounds all... Okay, in you come, in you come. There's a bed for you right here, love. Yeah, make yourself a cup of tea. Can I just ask, what were you wearing? No, it's too early for that. It's fine. We'll talk about it later. It's fine, yeah. And you're a trans woman, are you? Okay, all right. Well, yeah, no, I'm sorry. You heard the Prime Minister. Yeah, you need to toughen up a bit, love. You need to just get back... Just walk it off! Over to the Eye now. Labour plan for softer Brexit deal is too ambitious, EU insiders warn. This is a story that Labour want a cosier relationship with the European Union, but they've already said no customs union, no single market. It appears that actually what they're looking to do is to soften the checks at each of the borders. That's the grand plan, is it? Closer alignment with Europe. How are you going to do it, Keir? We're going to ask them really nicely to dilute their customs integrity. for the entirety of their union of countries. How do you think that's going to go, Kit? Probably not that great. It never ceases to amaze me how all of these politicians, left and right, endlessly, ceaselessly bang on about growth, don't they? We need to return to growth. We've got to get back to that productivity. We've got to get back to growth, guys. It's all about growth. Well, forget the EU for a second. Forget the net benefits of having immigrants coming in from the European Union. If you just signed a trade deal with the single market, that is probably the path of least resistance to getting the UK to return to something resembling growth. Instead of these sort of, we're storming ahead with 0.4% growth, guys. It's a barnstorming economy we've got now. But even though it's a vote winner, even though all of the polls say everyone supports rejoining the EU, literally nobody in the Parliamentary Labour Party or the Parliamentary Conservative Party can bring themselves to say, okay, yeah, maybe we should consider it. Which is just the most disheartening, uninspiring thing to observe in British politics. It really is. Like, anytime I see any politician from Labour or the Tories and they answer that question, like, should we consider rejoining the EU? And they go, I don't think there's any case to be made for rejoining this thing. The same thing pops in my head. Left or right, Labour or Tories. I always look at them, I'm just like, you're a fucking bellend. You really are. Like, I look at you and I don't even see your face anymore. I just see a gigantic twat. A literal vagina right in front of me. That's all I see. How's that for a biological fact?